Hello and welcome to the High or Lows podcast, a 5th ed Dungeons & Dragons adventure set in the world of Toraz. I'm Philip Martin, your Dungeon Master, and with me is Mimbo Wang.
Hi, everyone.
Next up, we've got Lizzie McPherson.
Hey, lovelies.
Third tonight, we have Laurie Crawford.
Hello, hello.
And our last member tonight is Meeraiya.
And a warm welcome to our new character, Background Noise.
Fortunately, Daniel Fletcher is unable to make it tonight due to some family commitments, but hopefully he'll be with us soon for the next episode. But let's get into it. So, previously on the High or Lows podcast, we began with the group continuing to explore the dwellings they'd found in the Dwarven mines. After going through 3 rooms and finding very few threats, they were basically going through the motions as they entered the 4th dwelling. However, as they delved further into the dwelling, Thistle and Tweak looked into one of the rooms and they discovered it wasn't as vacant as they had first appeared, or as they'd first thought. They were immediately taken aback at the sight of a grey-skinned, 8-legged reptilian creature, and when they met its gaze, they felt an odd effect. However, it wasn't until the rest of the party engaged the creature and Chuck felt an odd holding sensation that they realized they were engaging a basilisk and its brood, and were under the threat of succumbing to its stony gaze. Thankfully, Chuck was able to shrug off the gaze and was not turned to stone, and with that threat aside, the group were able to make decent work of the basilisk and its kin. A few bites landed on the crew, but for the most part, they are doing quite well. And after defeating the basilisk, they continued to explore the room and found a few more potions to add to their growing pile. And this is where we'll jump in, with the group still in this dwarven dwelling and deciding where to go next.
Well, where do we go next?
Northwood.
North seems the way to go. We go south, get them carrion crawlers, or back to the boards, or back to the forge. So if we want to go forward, get north.
Now, where did Subris say those hovels were? Those homes?
I think this is what we're in. I think there's a good chance we've cleared the danger he was talking of.
Yeah, might want to go back and report that then.
Do we need to report back? We could just move on.
It's true.
He's only, 200 feet away?
Probably about 700 or 800 feet away. You got to go down the hall, turn down there, go down the stairs, enter the mines. Not that far away, less than 1,000 feet.
I guess the way that I'm thinking is that maybe it might be better to process forward rather than going backwards. I mean, we can find another way to connect with them, can't we?
Yeah, you're right. I guess I'm thinking of that book. I really do want to know. I mean, he had some good information. Told us that, that may have been held by one of his fellow past crew, I believe, but I guess we can always find that information out later.
It sounds like Tweak will be back here no matter what, so I have a feeling we'll be back.
Yeah.
They know we were coming this way, so if they run into trouble, they could always run into these hovels now.
More creatures to the south as well, which I'd like to go investigate, so I'm sure we'll be back.
Not to mention that weird-ass crystal.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. It's hard to remember, but about my past, but I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it.
Certainly sounds unique.
I think if y'all were to go back there, you'd need something to keep you well hidden, or don't want to get found down there. Good way to die.
Yeah, it did seem littered with creatures, from what you said.
Positively crawling.
Did we need to take a quick breather, or did we want to just keep pushing on?
Oh, maybe we could have a rest. I think, like I said, my magic is a little depleted at the moment.
A rest for you would involve a fairly long one, I believe. Is that right?
I think so.
What time is it? Well, okay, we don't really know because it's underground, but are we feeling tired yet? I suppose you could answer.
I wouldn't say that you're feeling particularly sleepy. Let's see, you left the hovel, you went down, fight with the carrion crawlers, went into the mines, explored the mines. I'd say you've probably been awake for about 12 hours. You're starting to get a little bit tired, but you're still a few hours away. You did like that. Exploring the mines and the Anke caves did take a while. You traveled for a bit to go there, didn't
I could definitely cut through ranks and head on immediately now. I didn't take any damage virtually in that last battle, but I could always do with a short rest.
Do you think you'd be fine for a little bit with a short one then, Thistle?
Yeah, short one will be fine. Just a chance to rest the feet and everything and just have a bit of a clearer mindset. And if you guys are hungry, I don't mind cooking.
I mean, yeah, but I suppose anyone can cook, really. You don't have to. You're not the one eating, unless you really want to. That's fine.
Just thought I'd throw it out there.
How long has it been since I mean, do you eat?
I haven't been hungry for a while.
Since you woke up all those days ago?
Yeah, pretty much. Just don't feel like I get a bit like tired, but I don't get sleepy. I don't get hungry. I'm not thirsty. It's weird, but I'm just gonna take it with a grain of
A grain of insult? Yeah, I think I agree with what Callum said before. I think maybe what can you do other than to just keep an eye on it, see how it develops.
hopefully when we get to Homestead, I might be able to talk to somebody about it.
Well, I'm from Homestead, and you see, them dwarves, we got fellers kind of like them back there, but not like the talkers. They don't talk, but they're non-violent zombies. For the most part, non-violent, and they can be sort of told to do things. They're helpful. But I never met one that talked.
Well, now you've met two. No, three.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You saying you're dead. I ain't spent too much time with you, but your wounds ain't healing right. But I thought maybe that was your magic.
Might it be a combination of both, even?
It might be.
Yeah, it's strange. When I did sense of the divine, I picked up something, but it's more curious than anything.
So what do you reckon this is like? Where does your magic come from? You know what I mean?
I've always had magic about me. From even like I've got a couple of memories back from when I was a young child in the Grove, but after that I don't remember anything until I woke up and I saw Tweak and then the rest of you guys.
Well, not everything that comes down here and dies completely.
You think it's this place as I look around?
I've always just had this inclination it's got something to do with them mushrooms down there. They're the biggest force of nature down here. Not in this section, but
Perhaps you might be able to harness that force. This will connect with it, communicate with it, make our travel all that more easier.
Yeah, I might be able to try to meditate with it.
I reckon if we can get back to that forest, and once we get back to Homestead, we'll be able to get to a much safer part of the forest. The side we were on was pretty much controlled by Oasis and the spiders.
I want to go back there. A little bit creepy.
This whole place down here is creepy in general.
I don't really think this place is creepy.
I don't mind what Oasis seem to offer, to be honest. We know not of their people, their customs. It's strange to me. It might be interesting. Homestead is the way forward now, I guess.
I get the feeling that they wouldn't have treated Chuck here with respect, and, well, that wouldn't have flown with me.
How old are you again, Chuck?
14.
Okay then.
So inventory check. How we going for? We got some potions back there. Did we distribute and are we ready to kind of move on? I know that there were three potions, two of them healing and one unknown. We'll have to find out what that is. Green, I believe, with a floating jelly.
I think Tweak was minding them. By the way, where is he?
Oh, I'm here. I'm just curious about these animals. They're very odd.
I'll keep studying them. Maybe you can figure out some sort of weird antidote.
Perhaps it has something to do with their eye. I don't quite know, but it's interesting.
You have a good old time up there on your Steel Defender. We'll tow the weight.
I envision you guys are having your short rest in like the main sort of foyer where you can all sort of see each other, and Tweak's just off in that room where you killed the basilisk.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't have any potions, but I do still have one healing slot left, so... Or one spell slot, rather.
I got some healing. I got a couple of spell slots. But that's it.
Well, you'll get your wild shapes back at least, so...
Yeah.
Didn't you find some potions as well? You don't know what those are, do you?
No, I don't. I think I might leave them with Tweak to study.
All potions in the one place.
Sometimes I get an idea for these things. I'll have a look. Not mine. I don't recognize these. You guys can give me a nature check or Arcana. Actually, probably Arcana is probably better.
I actually got an 18, and I'm at -1 on Arcana.
So as you're having a look at these potions, I'm trying to think of what they might be. You have a flash of a memory. Your grandmother teaching you how to make potions. And she's teaching you what some of the potions are. And she's explaining to you about this one potion that you can make if someone needs to stay awake for a long amount of time, but needs to still be able to get some rest. She referred to these potions as potions of watchful rest. I believe you have 3 of these?
Yes.
So essentially, from your memory, you can take one of these potions, and you will be able to stay awake all night, but still get the benefits of a long rest, which is something you can do anyway.
That's interesting.
Well, if you guys don't have an issue with it, like, if I could have one, and then we can keep the others securely packed up for if anybody else needs them.
I mean, if how you described it is correct, you don't need one. You don't sleep, do you?
No, I don't.
Those things would be especially useful for a solo adventurer like myself. Man, some nights it's just good to be able to keep one eye open, you know what I mean?
Especially if we're resting in a place where we don't think it's safe.
But yeah, as long as we got Thistle and she doesn't need to sleep, you make a point, like, they're not super important. It'll be useful.
I mean, at worst, I'm sure they're worth something to someone in Homestead.
Oh, I'm sure. I ain't seen anything like this there. Definitely has some good barter value, especially for folk like me. I ain't the only solo explorer, so to speak. You're gonna get this guy's very interested in one of these. They'd give you something for sure. You guys notice these rocks? Like, they're a little bit funny. They got like specific shape to them.
I mean, I'd have a look at it.
Yeah, give me perception checks.
18?
Yeah, so as you look around at the rocks, like in this room, you notice that, yeah, a lot of them do have a bit of texture, like the odd texture for rocks, like a little bit too smooth or teeth. And you notice, and you remember what you remembered about basilisks, and you suspect that these might be creatures that were turned into rock by the basilisk, but have then crumbled apart.
Okay. There's no way we could identify what types.
Nature check with disadvantage. Because it's hard because you don't have a full specimen.
Give him guidance.
I'd allow guidance for someone on this.
All right.
Oh, that's annoying. I rolled a 19 and a 7. 11 for guidance. It's not terrible. Not great.
Who's anyone else rolling?
10.
Yeah, so you guys aren't sure what it is. You're sure that it's a fairly small creature, not even like tiny. In fact, as you guys are looking at it, Candle has a look and says, "I don't know what it is, but I reckon it was small and could fly, and then when it's fallen, it's gotten smashed. Doesn't look like a bat though."
The only thing I've heard of flying down here is those kobolds.
Too small for that. Well, I reckon if it's dangerous, we might find some more of them around here somewhere. But if it's just a regular old beast, they'll clear away from us.
Might do one of those checks as well. Just trying to understand if, like, did this thing have eyes?
Yep, so nature with disadvantage still.
Okay. I think it's a 17.
17?
Yeah.
You recognize this as everyone else is looking around. This is a sturge. Tiny thing that tends to nest in dark, gloomy areas. And when they basically come at you, attach, and try to suck your blood. They're a cross between a bat and a mosquito.
Have any of you dealt with these little pests? Sturges, we call them.
And you know, but you probably they're probably a pest that you've like had to deal with on your campaigns. One-on-one, just a pest, like basically only slightly more insignificant than a rat. But when they attack in swarms, and if they can catch an individual or small group unawares, they can be deadly.
They're threat compounds in flux. These things, keep your eyes out. They ambush, they hit hard, and they hit in a group. Keep your eyes up.
You would also know that whilst they like dark and gloomy areas, they are flyers, and they would tend to have access to... They need access to a food source, and you haven't necessarily seen a huge amount of food source for them down here. Because it's mostly like, yeah, the ant kegs, maybe sturges could get some blood out of them, the carrion crawlers, I suppose. The basilisk, it looks like they didn't do too well against the basilisk. But like, as far as the armors and things that you fought, it would not care to even try for those.
So most likely they'll be nesting up ahead rather than behind us.
Yes, it's very unlikely they would be nesting behind you. Unless they perhaps were somewhere in the direction of the carrion crawler, but seems unlikely.
Well, as you said, we'll keep our eye out. So I suppose we'll be heading up that passage up north next to where it seems to be opening up.
Yeah, so it continues on for about 30 more feet from the door, and then it splits and goes right and left, just veering off diagonally. Not at a right angle. It sort of still goes forward, but splits into two paths. You can see rubble on the right side. So if there is a path there, it would be rubbly, or maybe the path's gone, similar to the rooms on the other rooms on the right, the dwellings.
Did the short rest go off? Or?
Yes.
Good.
You can take your short rest.
I'll do the unfortunate thing of having to use my second win straight away because I'm still down hit points. I'm still down hit points, but I'm down less hit points now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have much in the way of healing me today, but healing any of you today, but I'll be good in a fight.
I've only got a couple of spell slots, so I guess, well, it depends. I could pick you guys up if we go down, if we go into battle.
Sounds all right to me.
I think that's what we'll be looking at. Anyways, I think this will be our final push for the day anyways, I think. Or at least it seems like it might be.
Yeah, feels like it's waning.
Well, I guess we should get going.
Yeah.
So what marching order are you using?
Well, I'm normally at the front with Callum, so
Yeah, I think Tweak is going to be right at the back. Is Chuck also going to be at the back?
Like always.
Okay, and so that will put Candle and Baracus in the middle.
Middle me. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you get to this crossroads up ahead, and yes, so the path leading right seems to be caved in, but there is a path leading left. Give me a perception check for the two people at the front.
okay.
17.
14.
Yeah, so you don't really notice it to the point where you notice it, like you don't, yeah, Thistle, you don't really notice this change, but Callum, just you're sort of more alert to these kinds of differences, you feel a slight breeze coming from the path to the left.
The air's changed. I can feel a breeze coming.
There's a way out?
Maybe this is leading to that massive chasm that you were talking about before.
Might be a good sign. Very good sign.
Chasms are where sturges tend to nest, so get ready.
Actually, that's a good point. They could be feeding on stuff below the island.
Yeah, I don't need to know that. I'm just thinking about those poor innocent creatures.
Yeah. Someone's got to eat them.
They could go vegetarian.
It's probably a good chance they can't. It's probably part of their lifestyle. Anyways, we can always debate this later.
You would also know that sturges don't always kill. In fact, their goal is not to kill. Their goal is just to get their fill of blood and leave. So if you're very strong, one sturge is not going. It's just going to be a pest. Hell, if you're strong enough, many sturges, like 6, 7 sturges, still not going to be a problem. But you guys, 2 or 3 would bring you down.
Yeah, just mainly that threat of that groups and that.
Might not kill you, but would definitely bring you down, and then it would be, up to the powers that be.
Well, let's keep moving forward.
Yep.
Keep an eye in the sky.
Yeah, so the path is still 10 feet wide. And you sort of look up ahead, Thistle, and you can see that after about 40 feet, it starts curving a little bit to the right.
I'll start walking ahead a little bit out of curiosity.
That's the way we're going no matter, so keep up with you.
You continue along. The stonework is actually surprisingly well intact. And as you turn right, you can see that it goes for about another 40 feet, and then there are a small set of stairs going down. Well, you're not 100% sure how big it is, but it doesn't look like it's a particularly grand staircase.
Okay.
And as you turn this corner, you can still hear the mining in the distance, but it is starting to die down due to all the turns you've been taking.
Well, let's go down the stairs. See where they lead.
Yeah, as you go down the stairs, it's really only about a 10 feet long staircase going down, and it seems to go on for another 40 feet and then a slight turn to the right. Yeah, we're talking like 45-degree turns, not full 90-degree. And you can feel the breeze now as you've made your way into this tunnel. Everyone can, as you're making this last turn, you can all start feeling a breeze, but especially the people at the front with high perceptions.
I hope with this fresh breeze coming in, it means that we're heading towards sunlight.
If it's a chasm, you won't really see the sunlight directly. You might see a little bit if you look down and get lucky.
That'd be pretty awesome. We'll have a pretty sky-high view.
Yeah, I only seen it a couple of times. The view is interesting, but I don't particularly like it because there ain't nothing. It feels like there's just nothing below you.
Well, at least you'd be able to see it.
Something to see. Okay, so you guys have gone down the stairs. You continuing onward?
Yeah.
Yep. As you continue onward, you can see that the turn up to the right, and then it seems to open up. only after just a short distance after that little turn, you can see that it opens up into some sort of a room. There's quite a bit of stone on the ground, and there's actually, it's not like ankle deep in water, but there is some water here, just sort of like puddles around the floor.
Kind of dip my finger in and give it a sniff.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Ooh, 26.
Yeah, it feels a little bit stagnant, but it also feels like water must come through here from time to time. Maybe just during a heavy rain, this sort of area gets filled with water.
I'd imagine we're actually getting quite low on water right by now. We only do have a limited amount of water skins.
You could go back to the river, but that's quite a trek point. And that water would need to be treated.
So I think we all have 2, potentially. But I'd imagine one of mine would be empty by now. I'd try and fill it to the best I could with this brackish water.
You'd probably be able to fill half a water skin if you would take your time. You'd have to go further into the room to go more, but at the moment you're still in the hallway.
Okay. Well, I won't just walk straight in there and do that with the threat of sturges so far. But that'll be something I want to do in this room. Well, let's move in, and some of this water we might be able to use. But yeah, keep an eye out.
There's we haven't been able to find too much coal around, but I have been on the lookout. Though I did a long while ago, you might remember, I did pick up some porous mushroom type of coal from a campsite, and I was hoping to use that, if anything, but for marking on the walls. But I could use it for some sort of filter moving forward. So this water might not be drinkable, but we might find ways to filter it.
Yeah, it's essentially just a sort of charcoal, almost like it's like a pumice-like charcoal. So you can definitely mark a wall with it.
It might be pretty good for draining water through it.
Hmm?
Yeah, cool. Well, let's move in and have a look at this water pool, but also, again, keep an eye out on the roofs.
So what are you doing?
Moving in.
Okay. Give me perception checks, I suppose. You're supposed to tell me when you want to do perception checks, though. Well, you did say you're keeping an eye out.
Yeah. I am specifically looking out for the sturges, because we do know they're a threat now. 15 here.
Mm-hmm. Thistle.
13.
Yep. So you don't notice it, but Callum, you do notice that there is movement on the ceiling. Very subdued, like they are sleeping, but there is movement.
I might just kind of hold my arm out and just kind of stop her and just hold my finger in front of my mouth and point upwards.
With that perception, you're not sure how many the numbers are, but more than a dozen.
You might have to just move backwards if we can quietly. Or rather, I'll at least get to where I can just like whisper as quietly as I can into both like everyone else's ears that there's some sturges up on the roof.
I look down at my armor, heavy armor, and hunch a bit down low on the ground. Okay, what am I gonna do here? How large does this cavern look? I mean, are we looking at 60 foot and further beyond? Can we make a run?
You didn't really get a good look into how big it was, because if you'd gone in, you would have been activated the sturges. So Thistle didn't see the end of this room when she had a brief look.
Yeah, how's the ground at the moment? Are we dealing with rubble?
There's a bit of rubble, and there's a few puddles.
Okay. I suggest a straight run for this cavern, because I don't think we're going through this room quietly. But I'm a bit wary of this potential for slipping.
I think it it'd be best to at least try to sneak across,
Quiet run.
and if they notice us, then run.
Yeah. Also viable.
I think, but you are probably not the best at the sneaking, but everyone else isn't terrible.
I can help him a little bit.
And this would probably guidance him as well.
Yeah.
That nifty thing that Chuck did for me a while ago got us out of a heap of trouble, but I think these creatures pick up on more than just sound, I have a feeling.
Potentially, yeah. Well, you all happy to try and sneak across?
Yeah, I'm happy to try.
I guess I'll give it a shout. I'm pretty good when I need to be. Quiet. Okay, so you're going to try to sneak across the room. Everyone's happy to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Give me stealth checks with disadvantage. Baracus, you're rolling straight.
Yay.
Disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My blood's no good. I'm assuming bin guidance?
Yes.
The darkness, thank you.
17 here.
Good. Nice.
The +6 stealth does help.
Well, more specifically, I'll tell you why it's disadvantage if someone fails.
How about a 25?
Wow. So you got like a nat 20 plus guidance?
19, yeah.
Wow. Thistle?
I got 16. Can I guidance myself?
No, because you guidance someone else.
I didn't know if I could do double. Oh,
No,
good.
It's a concentration spell.
Oh, good. Yeah, I forgot.
Okay, and Chuck.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
How bad? The DC is not particularly high.
Pretty bad. Would it be improved by invisibility?
No. Plus, it's too late because you've already started to stealth and you've already made the roll. Okay. So what happens is you guys are making your way across this room. But you start getting your way in, and you can see that it's not much further than 60 feet across. And to your left, there is that's where the breeze seems to be coming from, and you can see a little tunnel going up north, you believe. You can also see a pretty heavily collapsed tunnel to the east, but it does look like you could get through. And then there is also another tunnel that seems to be going south, and that seems to be a little bit more damp than the rest. And as you're making your way across, you're actually doing quite well in the stealth check. But what happens is Chuck steps into one of those puddles that I mentioned. And you hear a deafening... That's not a very good splash sound, but you all hear a quite loud splash sound, and I will get everyone to roll initiative.
5.
20.
17. Okay, so Thistle, you're up first. You hear the splash, and then you start to hear the ceiling come alive with a flappy buzzing.
I'm gonna, for my action, activate my symbiotic entity.
Cool. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Would you like to do anything else with your bonus action or movement?
Try and move from like to the edge of the room. Does that make sense?
Yep. Do you want to go to like the north, the edge of the room? You'd have to go to the western wall. That's the closest to you.
Okay, I'll do that. And I'm not that too far from the group.
No, you wouldn't. You'd still be like 30 feet away from the group.
Okay, no, I'm good with that. Yep.
Cool. Chuck, what would you like to do? Again, you made that splash, and you're sort of towards the end, the back of the group, and you can hear the ceiling start to come alive with this flapping, buzzing sound.
I am going to teleport out of there.
Where would you like to teleport to?
Wherever there is no surges.
Yeah, you could teleport backwards from where you came from, or you could go forwards to either the north, the east, the north tunnel, which is where the breeze is coming from, the east tunnel, which is heavily collapsed, or the south tunnel. There's stairs leading up all of these as well.
Where were you going?
What's that?
Where were you going?
I think our overall trajectory has been north.
Is that the breeze tunnel?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go as far as I can, 60 feet, right?
As a dash, was a bonus action. Yeah, and then you've still got your action.
How far away is the entrance to the tunnel?
About 45 feet from where you started.
I will teleport 45 feet, then I will cast a spell, then I will run into the tunnel.
Okay, yep. So what spell would you like to cast?
Mind Sliver,
Okay. It fails.
6 psychic damage.
Awesome. One of them just drops, falls out of the sky, dead. That's your turn? Are you going to keep on going down the tunnel?
Yeah.
Cool. It is the Sturge's turn, and they are going to... There are two that sort of saw you run through past, and they are going to go for you, but they don't. Most of them are not going to be able to go for you, Chuck. 2 go for you, and that is a 19 to hit, and a 13 to hit.
So the 13 doesn't hit.
Okay, so one of them attaches to you and does 6 points of damage and is attached to your skin.
Noted.
And there's another one sort of buzzing around, but it didn't get you. Okay, so we're gonna have...
I take it none of these are dumb enough to actually like fly above and get attack of opportunities.
Well, they're all coming from below. They're all coming from above. After this round, they'll all be at the ground level, and you'll be able to get attack of opportunities if they change targets. Okay, so we're gonna have a couple go for Thistle. That is a 16 and a 6.
6 misses.
Okay, so you have 1 attached to you and for 5 damage.
Also, can I do my Halo of Spores reaction as it attaches itself to me?
Yes. What do I
Sweet.
roll?
I need a con saving throw, please.
It fails.
Woo! So I think that's D4s.
Yeah, so you
That's-
pretty much didn't take any damage from it because of your
Yeah,
temporary hit points.
exactly, yeah. So yeah, that's 3 damage.
3 damage. It basically gets onto you, sucks and thing, and then you use a hail of spores, and it falls off you dead. 1 is around you buzzing, but hasn't done. And then another 2 are going to attack you because you're right in the middle. And that is a 5 and a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
So that is 7 damage. You have 2 buzzing around you, 1 dead at your feet, and 1 attached to you.
Okay.
So Baracus, you're going to have 3 go for you. That is a nat 1. That
Take
is a 22.
I won't take it.
So you're gonna, yep, that is 6 damage for you as 1 attaches to you. And that is a 21. So you're gonna have 2 on you.
Jeez.
But that one is only 4 damage. But you have 2 attached to you right now. Okay, and then Callum. That is an 8 and a 14.
2 misses.
And an 18 and a 7.
1 hit.
For 7 damage, max damage. And then Candle is going to have 3 of these as well. That's 1 hit. 1 hit. 1's on Candle. And he takes 4 damage. Okay, so there's a few on... So Baracus has 2 on him. Thistle has 1. Chuck has 1. And Callum has 1. And Candle has 1. And that was the Sturge's turn. Baracus, it's your turn.
I am going to, seeing these things are on me now, I'm going to wave my hand and cast Armor of Agathis.
Very cool, yep.
See if that might help. And I've got not much else, so I will... does it look like... Okay, so 2 are on me. Are there any others buzzing around me?
I think there's 1 other buzzing around you.
One other buzzing around. So I kind of got to remain stationary. Otherwise, it might follow. Attack. So I will, I will just stand here.
Yeah.
Wait for them to come.
Callum. So you have 3 buzzing around you and 1 on you.
Yep. And I take it. Well, I suppose I wouldn't know what if I would move. What happens in terms of attack of opportunity?
No, you're not sure.
Yeah. Well, first
I would
things
say
first.
you would probably be next to Thistle though, because you're normally up front with her.
Well, she ran off, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I will try and take care of this one that's attached to me, I suppose. Pretty sure 17 plus hits.
That definitely hits.
And 1 plus.
It dies.
Okay, cool.
These things have very little hit.
Noted. I think there's much else I can do.
Okay.
Actually, who's actually? You're. Are you looking terrible, Baracus?
I'm looking kind of halfway, but just a little bit below halfway average.
Yeah.
I think I'm good for this fight, but then I'll need we'll need to do some field repairs.
That's more what I need to know. Yeah. Then there's not much else I can do, fortunately.
Okay. It is Candle's turn. He's back there. He's in the middle, sort of with. He's been helping Baracus to stealth, so he's right next to Baracus, and he's actually going to pull out a pair of daggers, and he's going to try to kill the one on him, and misses the one on him, and he takes out a second dagger and tries to go for it again. This time connects and kills the one on him.
Nice.
So that's 4 dead. And that was his bonus action too. So Thistle, you're up.
So I'm gonna try and dispose of the one that's attached to me.
Sure.
I got my dagger nearby, so I'm gonna try and hit it with my dagger.
Just gonna say you're probably better off with your shillelagh, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I'll shillelagh and quarterstaff it.
Okay.
Does a 12 hit?
Just misses.
Okay.
Okay. Chuck, you have 1 on you and 1 buzzing around you.
I'll line over the one around me.
Awesome. It fails.
4.
It dies. You no longer have 1 on you. Okay. Anything else with your turn? Bonus extra or anything?
I can twin mind sliver.
You absolutely can twin a mind sliver. Yeah, I'll let you say. So mark off the sorcery point. It also fails.
6 psychic damage.
Absolutely dead. So you are now clear of Sturges. And you have 2 dead bodies lying at your feet as you twin a mind sliver and they drop. One is on you and just immediately releases, and then the other one just over your shoulder just drops dead. That's your turn?
Love being a sorcerer.
Twinning is great. But apparently you can't twin Firebolt because it can target an object. Who just thought? Okay, Sturge's turn. There is 11 left, so we'll do the one on Thistle first. It just sucks some blood.
The action.
Yeah, my symbiotic entity.
Okay, so the one on you, you're going to reduce symbiotic energy. It fails.
Okay. That's 4.
It dies. So
turn.
you know the one on you basically falls off as you inject it with spores, but there are still 3 buzzing around you that are still going to try to attach. That is a 20 to hit. That is a 9 to hit. And that is a 17 to hit.
17 and the 20 hits.
Okay, so you have 2 on you now, 1 buzzing around you for 5 damage and 4 damage. You have 2 on you.
Okay.
Okay. Baracus, you have 2 on you, which are going to try to suck blood. So that's 4 damage. And it immediately takes cold damage.
Yep.
And dies, but it does do that damage. And then the other one on you does 5 damage, but also takes the cold damage and dies. And then the third one buzzing around you is going to try to attack with a 14. So that misses pretty badly. Callum, you had 2 more around you.
I had 3.
So you killed one.
I killed one and you attacked me twice.
Oh, okay. So there are 3 more around you.
Yeah, I thought I had 2 around me.
So you had 2 on you, one that was buzzing. Okay, so we have 3 buzzing around Callum. So that is a 16 to hit.
Miss.
That's a new shield. That is a 12. And that is a 21.
That'll hit.
So you have 1 on you for 7 damage. And Candle has got 2 buzzing around him. And that's going to miss with a 13. And that's going to miss with a 14. So Candle does not have any on him. He's just got 2 buzzing around. That was the Sturges. Baracus. You still have 1 buzzing around you.
Okay, my pick will flare with fire and try to swat it.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's a 19 to hit, and
You are definitely going to kill it.
yep, 8 points done.
Nice. Callum.
Try and get this one that's on me.
Yep.
Oh, good. Okay, I think. Let me check my pluses. Oh yeah, 17. I'm pretty sure that hits.
That hits.
4 plus.
You skewer another one.
If I'm able to, I will try and start moving towards the others, but keeping those in range as much as I can. Even if it's just like moving 5 feet each time.
Yep, I'll allow it. You sort of can inch a little bit closer to Baracus and Candle.
Yeah.
Okay, and it is Candle's turn. Candle sees what you're doing, and is actually going to use his bonus action to disengage. And seeing that you're sort of struggling a little bit, he's going to come over to you and flank one of the ones on you and get advantage on this attack with his dagger. And that hits, and he kills not the one on you, but one of the ones harassing you.
Oh no, I got the one on me.
Oh, you did too. That's right. Yeah. So there's only 1 buzzing around you. There's 2 where Candle was, which is near Baracus. So there's sort of 3 by Baracus. There's 2, only one by you, Candle, and there's 2 on Thistle right now.
If I'm able to, I would say to him, look, I can deal with one if you can help Baracus.
All right. And he'll just nod and like, yeah, he just came and stabbed that one, and then he's moved over, and then he moved back to Baracus and give Baracus flank on 1. And Thistle, you're up.
Okay, so I got 2 attached to me.
You do.
I'm gonna try and hit them both with my quarterstaff.
You'll only be able to hit 1.
Okay,
There's a very good chance you can kill both before they do anything.
true. All right, well I'll try for one of them. Does a 15 hit?
Yeah, it hits.
5 damage, or 5 bludgeoning damage to be specific.
Yeah. You're just gonna stand your ground because you still have 1 on you and 1 buzzing around you.
Yeah.
Okay. Chuck.
What do I see?
Well, you've run down the hallway. If you like duck your head back down, you can see Callum engaging with one of these things. If you go even further, you can sort of see Baracus and Candle. You'd have to go pretty far in to see Thistle, because she went to the west wall. You went to the north
I
tunnel.
will take a shot at the one near Callum.
Still Mind Sliver or switching up?
No, mine's over.
Okay. That is a 14.
Yeah, 14 is safe. Far out. That's.
I rolled pretty well on the dice. I rolled an 18. These are just beasts.
I'll back in.
Yeah, you're doing mate. You see them all sort of engaged with other things right now anyway. Okay. It is the Z-Sturge's turn.
Halo spores.
Okay, on the one that's on you.
Yep.
That is a 9.
Yep. Got a 3.
It dies.
I'm free.
Then the other one buzzing is going to try to attack you with a 17.
Hits.
5 damage, and you have one on you.
Okay.
So I'm guessing you've lost your spore form now?
Yeah. Yes.
You
Okay.
would have lost it before that attack, I'd say.
I'd say probably.
Yeah, I have.
So I think your hail of spores damage goes down. You can still do it, it just goes down. Okay, so the other Sturges, we got the one Baracus still has one on him, not on him, but one buzzing around, and then there's 2 that Candle left. So 2 of those are gonna go for Baracus, one's gonna go for Candle. That's a 10 on Baracus, that's another 10 on Baracus. Candle gets a 24, so Candle's gonna get one on him this time, 4 damage, and Callum, you get a 21 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Only for 4 damage, but you have one on you. So at the moment, there's really only 4 left. 1 is on Thistle, 1 is on Callum, 1 is on Candle. And 1 is buzzing around Baracus. And Baracus is up.
Die, you scourge.
So you have advantage on 1 that's between you and Candle.
Yep, so I'm rolling advantage 17 and 7 points of damage. Done.
That hits, it dies. It's not the one on Candle, it's just one in between. Callum, you got one on you?
Well, obvious which one I'll go for then. 17 plus.
Hits,
I rolled 5 damage plus.
it dies.
Oh, good. I'm going to head over to. There's none left flying anymore, is there?
There's 1 buzzing around Baracus, 1 on Candle, 1 on Thistle.
Okay, well, I'll probably, if I can get next to both Baracus and Candle, that'd be great.
Yes, you can sort of, you can get there. Basically take the place where the Sturge was.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Candle will take out his dual daggers, try to get the one on him. Yes, he kills the one on his arm, and then he's going to go for this last one floating around Baracus and gets in that one. So that's going to miss. But he takes care of the one on him. Thistle.
I'm gonna try and hit the one that's on me.
Go for it.
17.
That hits.
We have 3 damage.
It dies. And there's 1 left fluttering around Baracus. Chuck.
I'm going to try the same thing.
Okay. Fail.
4 damage.
It dies. You are out of initiative.
God damn, I hate Sturges.
They hurt you guys, right? Like everyone's a bit hurt after that one.
They hurt us. Tweak, wing me that greater healing potion, won't you?
Sorry, I was distracted by these rocks. Is everyone okay? You hear from back down the tunnel you guys just came from.
Freaking tweet.
So, you guys are in this foyer. Now that you're having a better look, you can feel the breeze coming from the northern tunnel. You can feel like a little bit of extra damp, like a bit like a chill coming from the southern tunnel. And from the eastern tunnel, which is a little bit more wrecked, you notice that there's like a little bit of broken decorative stuff leading into like on the sides. You can't really tell what it is, but on the sides leading down to this eastern tunnel, there's some decorative stuff. The tunnel is fairly well collapsed, but it is passable. You'd have to work your way through it. You'd have to squeeze through, and you can see some sort of flickering light off in the east. Why don't you give me a perception check? Anyone that wants to look down there.
I will abstain because I have a feeling I won't see anything.
True.
I'll have a look. There's an 18 perception.
Whatever is making this light, you can't see it clearly, but whatever it's moving, whatever is causing this light is moving. And that's where we'll end this episode of the High or Lows podcast. That's it for this episode of the High or Lows podcast. If you'd like to get in touch, you can find us on Twitter at High or Lows with underscores between the words, or you can find me at Feepster.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed listening, please leave us a 5-star rating and review, which is one of the best ways you can support us. You can also join the discussion on our Reddit and Facebook pages, or even our Discord server, and maybe play some games with us. Links can be found in the description below. Special thanks to Sirenscape for the background audio and Alex McPherson for providing the opening theme. I hope you can all join us next time as we continue on our adventure.